I received a few DMs with regard to shared ownership. Few DMs over the last few weeks with regard to shared ownership. Now, shared ownership is one of the ways for which to climb on the property ladder in the UK. Shared ownership. Apart from you buying, following the normal procedure, which is you dropping 10% or 5% of the property price. Now, shared ownership is totally different from that. Now, shared ownership is when you are sharing that same property with a different group of people or a company, an organization, or a parastatal. You understand? Now, in this particular case, you are only buying a certain percentage of that property. Have there at the back of your mind that that property doesn't belong to you 100%. You are equally sharing the property with someone else or with a group of people, just like I said. You are only buying maybe 25%. In most cases, you are buying 25% of the 100% of the property. Now, you are paying, you're going to have to mortgage that 25% and you are paying rent on the rest of the 75%. So you are paying money in two ways now. If, for instance, your own share is 25%, right? The rest 75% belongs to a different group of people or to a different company. You understand? You will be paying rent on that 75%. You'll be paying mortgage on the 25% share of yours. I don't know if you understand this. You know, in a normal situation, in a normal circumstance where you have to pay 10% of the total price of the property, take for instance, the property is 250,000 and you want to pay 10%, which is 25,000, or 5%, which is 12,500. In a situation whereby you are not able to afford the 12,500, which is a very minimum amount you can pay for any property in the UK for deposit. If you are not able, one of the best ways at which you can get on property ladder still is by you going on the shared ownership. Shared ownership can only be found on new properties. New properties in very, 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 very few occasions, 0.00001% occasion, you can find shared ownership on old property. Mainly and majorly 95 to 98% of the time is going to be on brand new property, whether apartment or whether brand new house. Have this at the back of your mind. Now, this is exactly what will now happen. You will have to find a lender that can borrow you the 25% worth of that property. I don't know if you're getting the gist. You will get a lender that can easily borrow you. I mean, as a matter of fact, it's quite easy for you to be able to get a lender to borrow you that 25% price of the property, 25% of the price of the property. You will now go into some sort of calculation with how much you're going to be paying on that 75% that is left. So you are paying the mortgage to the lender on 25%. You are equally paying the rent on 75%. In some cases, people have come to say, okay, they are paying more. They are paying more compared to when they bought the property themselves, paying 10% or 15% or 5%. In some cases, you might be paying more. It doesn't necessarily mean that because it is 25% of 25% share you are buying, so that means you're going to be paying £500 every month. No. In most cases, or let me say in very, very reasonable cases, you might even be paying more than someone who is not on shared ownership, who is actually buying the property following the normal procedure, which is a dropping of 5% or 10%. So it is completely your choice. At the same time, you must merit the shared ownership, if you understand. So one of these very important things about shared ownership is that is the easiest way to get on property ladder. After a few years, you may decide to say, okay, I want to buy more shares from that 75% and add it to my 75%. To make it 30%. You might want to say, okay, I want to buy in the next couple of years, I want to buy more shares from that 75%. Maybe you want to buy 10% more and add it to your 25%. You will have 35% of that property. So like that, maybe after 5 years, you decide you want to sell your 35%. And of course, there's going to be an equity. There's going to be an equity on your 35% seal. So you can sell your 25 or 35% after 5 years or after 10 years to say, okay, you know what? I want to sell these shares of mine. How much can I get on it? You might discover that you will even get some shares, so you won't get some equity on that 35% of yours, which is going to enable you to now go outrightly to go and make a deposit for a property which is going to be owned by you alone. So it's a very, it's the easy way, it's the easiest way to get on Property Ladder. So it is now your choice whether you are capable. You still have to run your eligibility and affordability check as well, following a mortgage broker. This is really important, guys. If you have any question or you have a different opinion to these that I've said, just leave it in the comment section and others will learn from it. Thank you.